And then you'll notice how Leo fell forward and is now in face down, feet away position. This is called a heavy wall stun, or while if I were to do large up forward 3 from over here, we would call it a wall splat, since you'll also notice that they fall down differently from the wall as well. You'll notice that they'll fall down back into face up, feet towards in this position. Okay, so you can also change the wall stun into a wall splat state by doing following up with a hit on the wall. See how they back on face up, feet towards now instead of face down, feet away.
Okay, so once you get someone on the wall, how many more hits do you get?
Generally, from a heavy stun, you will get like 3. But this also depends if you get wall splat, depending on the height on the wall. If you're higher on the wall, you could generally get like 1 or 2 hits more extra, as Chu is going to demonstrate here.
Leo's normal combo is this. But since I did a launcher that launches him a little higher, I could do an extra high kick like that.
And then the regular combo.
And then the regular normal combo.
See? But if he were to just do like an up forward 3 straight in that combo, he can't get that 4 into that. There's the regular combo. Yep. See how they're higher up on the wall, so he gets an extra hit.
Wall hits only count when their feet is touching the floor. So say they're up there, their feet don't touch the floor until I kick them. But since I do a heavy wall stun, their feet is already touching the floor, so the wall hits already start activate.
So after about 3 hits or so, they activate a fast wall slump.
Now, 3 hits is kind of dependent on the character. Like there, it looked like Leo did like 5 hits or something, right?
But okay, like let me explain with Lars. Lars, I'm gonna wall splat him with forward 4-3, and if I do forward 4-3, I'm gonna do forward back 2-1. The bind hit on the wall does not count as a wall hit since you're hitting them to the floor. I'll show you guys here, forward 4-3, forward back 2-1, down forward 1, forward 1+4.
So the forward back 2-1 was the bind.
Yeah, and then forward back 2, that counts as the first wall hit, and then we'll see first wall hit, then the bind hits as a ground hit, so it doesn't count as a wall hit. So and then you get down forward 1, and then forward 1+4, 3 solid hits.
Do that combo again, and I'll count the actual wall hits. 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
So even though some bind moves look like they're actually more than 1 hit, they only count as 1 because the actual bind move that hits them to the floor does not count as a hit.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the bind move really quick. Earlier, a second ago, we just talked about the juggle system and how you can use a bind move to extend a juggle. So when you're extending the juggle, you might end up taking them to a wall. But basically in Tekken, there's no such thing as a double bind. Is that correct? No such thing?
No such thing.
No such thing.
You cannot do it.
Right. So if you have used the bind move earlier in your juggle and you get them to the wall, basically if you try and bound again, the juggle ends right there. They get spiked on the floor in whatever position you left them in, and the juggle's over. If you had not used a bound move during your juggle and you get them to a wall, you can still use your bind move at the wall.
Yeah, that's correct.
Now to show you that, I'm going to bound my opponent before the wall and then perform my wall combo. And then in the next combo, I'll carry him to the wall and save we call it saving our bound for the wall.
Now that's a little bit confusing because it looks like it's binding at the wall, but you're actually binding before they actually hit the wall.
Yeah. And now I'm going to save my bind for the wall. I'm going to show you that you cannot double bind in this game. First bind I'm going to use at the wall.
There it is.
And I'm going to try to bind again
But no.
with this exact same move, but as you see that he got spiked, not bounded.
So there's no infinite combos in this game.
No.
Not like that anyway. Maybe there is, but we haven't found them yet. No one's found them yet.
Alright, so here I'm going to talk about a little bit about low wall hits. As you could tell right here, it's first hit it's 120%, second hit's going to be 60%, I believe. Yep, 60%. And then here's the combo roughly. You'll notice that the third hit in that combo and Lars is down back 2-1 in that string upscales back up to 70%. This is due to something we call a low wall hit, A low wall hit will seem to appear as the opponent is fully grounded at the wall, but technically they're still in a wall combo. But the low wall hit, what it does is upscale the move back up to 70%. As you can see here, make sure to keep an eye on the ceiling. Alright, and there you go. It's like it goes back from 120%, 60, then goes back up to 70%. Then it continues the scaling after that at 50%, and it goes back to 70 again for the next wall.
So that's kind of strange. I mean, because usually when we talk about juggles, we look at the damage scaling, and it consistently drops. But on this special wall situation, your scaling is dropping, but then when you get the low hit, the scaling jumps back up.
And then it continues where it left off.
Before the low hit.
Exactly.
And that's dependent, I guess, on the character's strings that will pick up again after that low hit.
Exactly.
Something weird like that.
Some characters can continue a string after a low wall hit on the wall. Some characters can. That's where the combo ends. But that's all dependent on the character.
All right. So I think that pretty much covers the wall system. Did we miss anything? I think we did a pretty good job.
That was everything.
I think that was everything, right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that said and done, let's go ahead and move on to the reversal system. Sure, that sounds good. Boom! We ain't talking about a reversal system. We're going to talk about wall breaks and floor breaks. And so basically the wall breaks are only on Temple Ground stage, and it's a special case on Anger of the Earth. If you're at the wall, a wall stun move will break the wall. But if you had done a wall carry, then certain moves, which Al will describe in a second, are the ones that will continue to break the wall. So there we see Law just did a heavy wall stun move at the wall, and the wall broke. And there we saw a wall splat, and he did a move that's also a wall stun move, but in this case it'll break the wall. You'll find that certain wall stun moves do not break the wall after a wall splat. Correct. And so let's just pan over to Al real quick and let Al describe this.
I had a little theory. Moves that make them spin or carry them really far are the moves that actually break the wall if you carry them to the wall. Those two moves, the first one carried them, made them carry them far after the combo, and the second one made them spin. So let's see that at the wall. Now we'll show you that a heavy wall stun move can break the wall.
But the same heavy stun move in a combo,
in a
splat situation, will not
break the wall. There it is.
So we think Al's theory is correct. And so now let's move on to the floor breaks. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the floor breaks. And basically a floor break only occurs in certain stages, in certain areas. So basically there's a cemetery stage kind of in the middle, there's Fallen Colony over the ground area, and on Anger of the Earth you'll see there's kind of a crack in the wall in the back of the stage, and that's the area that if you do any spike move, you're going to break the floor. So now, when you do a spike move, the floor will break, and you'll kind of get a bind situation on the floor. So we'll have Jin demonstrate that here.
Trick or treat. There are double binds in this game, but the only way to do it is to bind before a floor break, and then floor break again, which the floor break counts as a second bind.
And you'll also notice that Jin's Wall Standing 1-2 isn't technically a bind move, but any spike move, as we said earlier, will break the floor as seen here. And then on the stage below, you'll get another bind.
So you can continue the combo, but the combo still has the combo juggle scaling that we talked about earlier, where each hit will push them further and further away.
Yeah, the juggle counter.
Juggle counter, my bad. All right.
And also, search and throws will break the floor as well, but keep in mind that the recovery of your opponent, they could tech right away. So it's not like a spike move or a bound move on a floor break area. They could recover right away.
Right, so you don't usually get extra damage after a throw that breaks the floor.
There's a little extra damage from floor breaking, but other than that, there's no like free Ogi.
There's no pickup. There's no possible pickup after that.
And so, actually, we didn't really mention this, but there is a little bit of damage that you get from breaking the wall and for hitting the floor.
Yeah.